Hi Summer, and welcome to the Musical Theatre Academy in Rome.
Thank you.
And you come from a family of performers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how old were you when you were the first cast in the production of Cats? And how did you feel about being part of that specific show?
Well, both my parents were in Cats in 1980, blah, 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 they wouldn't like me to say it. And my aunt was the original Rumpel-Teaser. So I went for the open audition for Cats in 2002, and there was 170 people there. My mother, I think it was my mother who sort of said, you must go, because they were thinking of closing it, and it had been a dream to be in it, because I'd seen it so many times. The first time I went to see it was when I was about 18 months, and I sat on the sound desk. So in the show I was cast when I was 16, but it was a brilliant experience for the first time, and I was able to be a part of the last night on 11th of May 2002, which for me was very sad, but also it was, you know, an absolute joy to know that I'd been a part of it at the New London Theatre.
Yeah,
the
sure.
Original.
You have performed in very many shows, musicals and Cats and Sound of Music, in the role of Maria and Love Never Dies and Guys and Dolls, and now in Top Hat in 2012 in London. And what is the feeling you love most of being a performer, of being on stage in a musical?
Well, to be honest, I think the best part of being in any show is the creative process, is being in the rehearsals. That's the best, because everyone's in it doing the same thing, working on how they can create their character, or, you know, and what dance routines and things like that. And also, obviously, with a director, a musical director, a choreographer, everyone's there for the same thing. We all want to be, it's like a big team effort. We all want it to be this beautiful thing that we're creating. You know, it's like creating a world in every show. So,
what's the hardest point of working in a musical?
I think when you get to, once you've done rehearsals, and about 4 or 5 months in, if you're in a long contract, that's when you find it the most difficult, because creatively you have to do the same thing every night. You have to, if you're like Meg, I had to pretend to, you know, want to kill myself. So that was really tough. But we do what we are passionate about. You know, not a lot of people do have that in their lives. You know, they have to just work to live, whereas I have a lovely time doing what I do for a living. So
sure,
I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, that's great. And we've had you here in Italy at the Musical Theatre Academy for a workshop about Cats, and with our students. So what do you think of young students? I mean, what would you suggest them for the future?
Well, the students here have been absolutely fantastic. You know, so willing and so able as well. They learn really, really quickly. Because that's one of the jobs that you have to, one of the skills that you have to have when you go into any ensemble or even leads. You know, you have to learn things quickly. In television, in film, if people suddenly change a scene, you have to do it really quickly. So it's training your mind. When I go into a show, I go to learn. I don't go to say, I don't want to show off no more. I don't do that. You know, it's not to show off. It's to learn and to absorb as a student. You know, I'm a student of life, I like to think of. And anyone can teach me something. So, the sister who's been doing fantastically, and I look up to her hugely, and Bonnie and my parents. So I'm lucky. I've had a lot of people around who that I can look up to and aspire to be like. So yeah, again, I'm very grateful for that.
That's great. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.